briefly, could you give me some feedback?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because it's just, I don't know, I thought I'd done things according to pretty good methodology, but it just fooled me. And I'm just,
You're breaking up a
I
lot.
wondered if I've just missed a couple of things. Am I? Oh, can you hear me?
It was coming in and out. Sure. What pair?
Yo, chat.
Yo.
You dollar yen.
Dollar yen? Yeah, sure. All right, what a move.
You're in the trade now.
You're in the
It's
trade
just-
now. Okay, yes, yeah. Send it through. We'll have a look.
I just got that long there, Haydos.
Did ya?
I
Okay,
got
cool.
fake access to you, held and managed to get it up today.
Nice push, huh? Nice push.
It just took the Asian low and it retested and took out the Asian high.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if this is the support now. That I'll have to assess what's happening with We'll have to assess what's happening with the gold in New York session.
That there was your Asian 50%.
Okay.
Touched it to the pip and then pulled down and jumped off.
Yeah, breaking the high would be a nice one as well. Cool. All right. So let's have a look at the German. Oh, no movement. Huh. Hey, Marin. How are you, mate? All right, let's do a little bit of a deeper dive. We had pound GDP numbers, so I really would have thought this would have been higher than it. Well, I was expecting at least something. So that surprised me. I hadn't looked at the German at all yet. That's the first time I saw it. All right, so we did a wick fill for a little daily wick.
That was almost all in one candle. One 15-minute candle did most of that work.
Oh yeah. So we've got more room to keep on pushing up. GDP was good, so that means that productivity is better than expected. Not good, it's still negative, but it's better than expected. Yeah, most of it. Okay, we've got French CPI coming in 1 minute 30. That we'll see what that does. Yellow folder. A little bit of news, then we've got PPI for 1:30. All right. Well, I was actually expecting there to be, when I looked at it, to think that it was crap. So I'm pleased. This is good news. Anyway, this is there's 3 wicks over here. We've got Trez wicks. Oh, that's gonna help. Across here. Oh, come on, man. Across here, and that's where we're just inside right now. So let's have a look. So 4 hours. Where's my zones? Actually, we've got a little doji here. Let's get this flat. Let's get rid of this one. Let's get rid of this one. Man, my mouse is having a fit today. It's one of those things that I could easily replace it, but it's just a bit of a pain to set up on. We have to wait for delivery. Okay. Let's go to 2
Is anyone else having problems with Hayden's mic?
Oh, yeah.
No, your mic's fine, Hayden.
It just
Okay.
went scruffly every now and then. I'll jump out and I'll
sounding a
come
bit
back in.
funny.
Oh, it is it?
Huh?
Let me just.
Just went like crackly just for a few seconds. It's been good ever since, but it's done it 3 times now.
Yeah, okay. Maybe I'm leaning on the cable or something.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Everything's unplugged and plugged back in. So let's see. The old fixeroo, just unplug it, plug it back in, give it a bit of a whack. Yeah, I wonder if we could see 16,100 today. 1 hour. So we were creating a little resistance. We've got this range candle for that news. So we broke out and then we just stayed above. So I do have this as like a little support. Yeah, this is no joke, this area. So I like I'd love to trade above that. If we can trade above this, then I think we've got a fairly clear run up to 16,100. So that'll be 100 pips, this move. See if we can get that. Or are we going to fail to break and then do a bit of a deeper test to come down and like reconnect with the London session? Yeah. All right, that's kind of the it's kind of sideways here. We'll see. We've got 15 minutes. So France CPI came out just now. I wonder if that had a little movement on the CAC. Yeah, I think it's fairly well informed for these guys. Comes out pretty much as expected. Um, 4 hour liquidity. Oh yeah, 16,100 carry. Yeah, that's what I got. I got that one. This one. Cool. Alright, other than that, it's just kind of gone a bit sideways, isn't it? So a little liquidity candle here has been retested once. So we've got room for upside and we've got room to downside. So let's see where the volume goes. Might have to just I kind of hope it goes down first and then I can take the correction up.
Yeah. Both your lines there are very close to the New York 50, so that bit of a retracement there would be pretty good. Take out those 3 wicks, or even any one of those wicks.
Yeah, and this is like a pretty congested zone, this 16,000 area. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Let's see. No, I'm not really getting a clear read on any particular direction. And that can be the case after like I kind of like it when like this was a CPI event where I didn't see the price action that I kind of come to and have gotten used to with CPI, that it does the correction. So I'm kind of waiting for that correction to still happen. So it's a little bit sluggish. It's like they're still asleep. Only moved 30 pips, and we've been seeing a lot more trending lately. So, all right, cool. Well, I'm not going to go in hard on this day. Yeah, upwards makes more sense. We've still got more clean candles to fill. So definitely buying, but we haven't created the bottom wick yet. So any up move, I'd be pretty surprised if that was the low of the day already in. So if I'm going to take a buy, I would probably, that reminds me, I better open up the computer so I can take that buy. If I'm going to take a buy, it's not going to be something that I would expect to be able to hold the entire day. So I think there'll be more of a down move first. So I'm going to wait for that. Wait for downs and then look for longs. Unless I see liquidity grabs from above, and then I would assume that that incoming volume is about to push down first, and then I could take a quick jab for a sell. But I don't really see. It's kind of just gone sideways, so I need to wait for more information here. Anyone else think otherwise? Got a few minutes. We're going to look at US yen. US yen, I took a little sell.
15 minute, you might have HCS short.
15 minute. Let's have a look. Have you sent that screenshot, Dave?
No, I've got computer problems.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can hear it.
Connections. I'm in a different place. And it's struggling with my. I might send it to you separately.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you sound like a robot as well. Yeah, I don't see nothing. I don't really see nothing. I just see sideways. This could be a little push up from this little news, but attempted liquidity, and then like a little tiny candle. Yeah, there's nothing. I don't think there's nothing to put my bets on for this one right now. US yen, I took a sell on it and I got it stopped out for break even. The bastard. I got a sell in more or less here, hoping it was going to push down and retest the low, push down 20 something pips, and then stops got moved to break even, and then it got stopped out, and now looking like it's gonna double Dutch me. So I'm wondering if this is like a little bit of a false flag for US dollar moment, because they did say there were some. I've been reading the headlines, looking into some of the inflation was coming down. Inflation was a good reading yesterday for the inflation battle, as in dropping 1%. The year-on-year number that dropped out was plus 1.3%. So that was one of the bigger jumps in the inflation rise in the 12 months gone. Now, with that number falling out, they had a bigger drop for this one. Now, and then when they compared that with core PCE year on year for it all, core PCE is still sitting around, what did they say, 4.8 or 5.3, which is still quite a lot high, and that's the one that's really struggling to budge. So I would not be surprised if more chatter comes out in the next few trading days about that, because the 26th of July is the rate hike, so basically 2 weeks from now. They might still hike, and if they start talking about hiking, then I would expect to see this whole move reversed. So that'll be pretty interesting if someone comes out of the woodwork today. No one's scheduled to come out of the woodwork and talk, but you never know with these guys, do we? So there's always someone that talks after these news. Doesn't say there's anyone actually scheduled to talk, but there usually is someone that will say stuff. There was, I think it was after this one, Kashkari, see how it says like Kashkari is going to speak, but what actually happened, we had someone else speak as well. Where is it? Fed beige. The boring beige. There's Macklin. He's the one that was speaking. Oh wait, sorry. Where's Kashkari? That Macklin's Bank of Canada. Kashkari. Barkin, there he is. Yeah, that guy. Fed Barkin. So he wasn't listed anywhere to talk, but he came out for comments afterwards. So we're comfortable doing more policy if incoming data does not confirm inflation will return to target. So all of this was after CPI came out. So what would potentially happen after PPI comes out is we have more Fed speakers that aren't on the books, and they might be supportive of still hiking one more time again to really put a nail in it. And so that would, I would dare say that will reverse all of these gains from yesterday's CPI, because normally CPI does have like a correction in it. We shall see. We shall see. All right, so German. Let's get ready because we've got 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Upper target is this line. There's 16,100. This is a little bit of an issue. If we can push down into these areas, then we might have a chance at picking up the crumbs for a correction. Gosh. Pound's really sinking on that news. I'm surprised Aussie's so strong. I'm really expecting pound to turn around as well. I've got my eyes on. Definitely keep my eyes on a pound Aussie buy, depending when we get down to this area. Okay, so here we go. Here's the open. I don't have a clear zone like I normally would. So that's why I'm hesitant on this one. Okay, so we're taking the daily low. Hey Ivan, how are you, mate? So we might be able to get a 20 pip push to the downside here. Yeah, I agree. When there's nothing really distinctly obvious in terms of like levels I'd want to trade off. So I'm happy that's the watch price. Watch it until it gets down to around this area. 15,980, 15,990. Hey, actually, I can see you got a little thing up here. One hour. Form the doji. Yeah, so you're looking at the same. Oh my god, partner's like smashing dishes in the kitchen. The 15,990. So that'd be a 50 pip move. That'd be alright. To target the euro high, wouldn't it? The start of the doji, the euro high. No, I'm looking. I can't do anything until at least it touches one of these areas. I wasn't really looking for those cells. But I'd like to see some wicks pulling liquidity from around here. I mean, careful. I'm just going to be careful to see how much it digs underneath this line. But I wouldn't mind seeing that. Is there a 200 on the 5 minute? Or the 1 hour? Oh, it'd have to be the 5. The 200 will be waves down here. Yeah. Then it goes to the power pivot, pivot point. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to see this as a fake support, break that support, keep pushing down, and then start. I'm gonna have to wait for more confirmation on this one. Okay. Close well below. Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing to do. I don't see nothing for my trading style. It's gotta wait. $3 wasn't. It's like it's quite a nice little candle. Like, but I'd say that this will still be filled, and we've still got a little bit more deeper to go. Thank you. Your TP as well, Marin? You in this? Did you catch the same trade from yesterday? Or were you holding from before? Yeah, 2 days ago. I remember that. Yeah, good one. All right, if I get a little confirmation and if a couple of dojis here, if these can close and then I can see a bit of manipulation, I might look for that long opportunity, and I'll be trying to target this area, the 16057. If we can get some sort of liquidity wicks being pulled and then breaking these highs. If I can get like an engulfing candle here and a retest of the wick, the open, then I'll target 16060, a 50 pip move. So I'm kind of looking for something like that, and then I'll try get in, say somewhere around here. But I want to see this wick take out these doji lows and close nice and strong, and then a retest. Then I think that would give me enough fuel perhaps to trade from around here, 27, and then up to here would be that 50 pips. And then obviously I've got to target up higher, which would be 90 pips away. Just got to wait, doji. Just got to wait for a engulfing candle to show like some sort of direction. If I didn't get that, then there's nothing to do, and I'd wait for it to dig lower, take out these two doji candles. But I do like how it took the daily low already. It's created the lower wick, so it could be a short-lived buy move. But there needs to be a wick on it. For me anyway, for me to enter. Are you waiting or are you in German 40? No, I was. If this just keeps on going up, it didn't give me an entry. Came down, hit some levels that even those levels weren't too clear, but it never gave me an actual entry signal. So I'm just waiting and watching it go without me. This 1 hour now. I guess the only way, let's have a look at the 30-minute. I'll get rid of this 3-minute for now. I think an entry, yeah, even the 30 minutes not too clear. The area that's clearest right now would be saying that, because this was an hour doji, was anticipating that this candle would be an engulfing candle the next hour, and then you'd have to enter this underneath this doji. But that oh, I guess we did have like a little, setup there, 2 liquidity wicks that pushed price up, but oh, we did break the high as well. Now we've retested these ones. So we had a doji and 2 little pin bars, and this candle, I guess you could have anticipated that this would be an engulfing candle, rejecting the lows here, but it wasn't very obvious from my eyes. Did anyone take it from here? I definitely didn't.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. It's just a cold, so I haven't talked that much.
Hey, Jazz, what's he up
so,
to? He's hassling you. Do you need us to take care of him?
Okay, so if you go to the 3-minute,
Yep, top right.
yeah. So this candle already give us a lot of idea that we already got liquidity from that area, and this candle retested that candle, the 50 at least till here.
Mm-hmm.
And the London Open don't have a top wick here.
Yeah.
So I took the entry here when we retested, because that's hourly area for me.
Yeah.
When I send the chart, so that was the hourly area. I already closed most of my position, because today I don't think we will move that much like yesterday, because yesterday we moved too much, and this is also the 4-hour area for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we also tap into the manipulation zone. If you see the previous picture, I said there is a gray area. That's a manipulation area for me. Just a second, I will send another.
Okay, this one.
Yeah. Just a second, I will send another one,
Mm-hmm.
so you get a clear idea.
Because I see this candle, the 3-minute candle.
Yeah, that's still the attempted FU candle. Yeah.
Yeah, because that one is very similar to the one we targeted yesterday. This one.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I was like, that's going to become a target for later. So on the current 3-minute candle, this one here, to me, this tells me it's still got more to go underneath again.
Based upon the previous 3-hour candle, on 3 hours we already formed FU candle from upside, so that's why I wasn't that much confident to hold that trade.
Yeah.
If you look at the 3 hours, is previous 3 hours closed like a FU candle from the upside. So we this was a kind of doji candle. We took out that high and close a FU candle here,
Yeah.
and we can again come back into taken out this low. So maybe after some time, price can again come back for the low side.
Yeah, that 3 hour looks
Taken
better
out that.
for these levels. Definitely looks better.
And going against 3 hours, 4 hour is really difficult. Even 4 hour was a FU candle, so I don't want to go against attempted FU candle on 4 hour. And we already kind of retested to that 4 hour 50% wick.
Yeah, okay.
So going against that candle is really hard. Taking buys, I mean.
Yeah. It's really not clear for.
Yeah. So price can again come back downside, and we can take out the, as Ivan said, we have a 4 hour wick here somewhere. So price can come back, taken out that wick, this wick. So it can taken out that thing, because we need also some kind of pullback. So pullback can be in this area somewhere, and then again we can again start moving to the upside.
Yeah.
But if we create any kind of like a, if this candle is closing like a FU candle, then price will not going to come back for this. If it closing like a attempted FU or FU candle, then this will be a future target. Once we are getting liquidity from upside, then we can target. Right now, if this closing like a FU or attempted FU, then we will going to negate the previous 4 hour candle and again start moving to the upside.
Yeah, there's still more upside to go. I really would like to see the 16100 hit. So I do want to catch these buys. Oh, well done, James. Well done, Vassal. They took the buys as well. Wait, oh, my chart's messed up now. 1 hour, 5, 1 here, 3. Did you leave a runner?
Yeah, small runner.
Okay. Because the other thing is if this hour candle closes bullish, like engulfing, then I think I'd give it a go for the retest as well. Trading the side of this wick, treating this then as a as the liquidity pool, and if it closes nice and strong with the hour candle, then if it comes back to that, that's what I'd look to find something in here. That's added to the position at the low of the last candle. Cool. I just hope it goes north for everyone, because that was the original plan.
On 3 minute we generated liquidity now here, so any kind of manipulation here can be good idea for again price pushing into the upside. If they are not interested to take out this low, then they have to do any kind of manipulation here.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting to see some manipulation because I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
and that's why I haven't got my entry. I haven't got a entry opportunity because I've never seen any manipulation here. I see pound Aussie is starting to move. See, I wonder if this will correct this whole move. Didn't make sense for pound to suffer so much. US dollars, gold, US dollar, starting to reject off that monthly level at 1963. Starting to get some movement. Let's see what's going to go on. Stops below the open of the first green candle. This one here. On the sorry, you're looking at the 5 minute, aren't you?
Yeah, on
This one. If this, because this little doji candle on the 5 minute, if this, because it's broken the low, if this can flip in the last 2 minutes and start breaking its high, then you've got a wick fill to the top side. Then a nice move up to 16,040. This needs to reject from here because it broke the low of the previous candle. Now we want to see it be a manipulation candle and engulf this doji, and you can do wick fill. It'll be like a 10-minute wick. 10-minute. Problem is got no wick on this bottom. That's that no wick. There's a few candles with no wicks, and they're disturbing me. Oh, here's your entry here. Yeah. Wait, what's your target?
I haven't put any target.
Oh, you
I just wanted
is
to
that
see.
arbitrary? Is it that?
Yeah. Just wanted to see how the hourly candle going to close.
Okay.
Then I can decide. If the hourly candle is not closing the way I wanted, I can close my position, or it can take my run out right now.
And what's this one? Oh, there's the 4-hour chart.
Yeah, this was a gray zone I am talking about. This is the manipulation zone. So previously this was if a candle was here, this, and price broke that thing, and this is a 4-hour zone.
How are you defining your manipulation zone? Is it the boundary of the wicks and the bodies?
Yeah.
Of the two, you got 2 attempted FU candles, full and attempted.
So it depends. So if there is a HCS was formed here, so then why price decided to break that HCS? That means next time when price is coming into that area, then that will be the manipulation zone for them.
Yeah.
For example, let's say here. So this is a manipulation zone. If price breaking below, then any kind of retest that can be an entry for me. Like here, when we broke up, this week came back to retest that manipulation zone. And HCS zones are the best one. If price created any kind of good HCS, like this wasn't like a perfect HCS, this you can consider this as a HCS. But immediately price afterward, this candle broke that HCS. Then price came back to the downside. We did the manipulation here, and then actual move happened to the upside. So price broke that HCS, give us idea that we are now ready to push to the upside.
Yeah. Should you hang in a bail? Did you close any partials? I think that. Oh, sorry, no, there was a question on YouTube. I think I think the scale in was a bit soon, so I'd be careful on that one because you're adding volume to something that's still not quite clear in the direction.
But no HCS was formed there, so
yeah,
no clear HCS.
So the 1 minute's done like, I don't like the 1 minute chart for German 40 though, as in like reading the candles, but we've got a little liquidity wick here. I'd like to see like a 5, oh it's a 10 minute right now. I'd like to see a 5 minute bullish candle engulfing to confirm upside. When I say confirm, it's not guaranteed, it's just to support pushing up. It depends on how you managed it. Depends on where your entry is. It's a hard question to answer. Because if your entry was down here and then you took some profit at 30 pips, then you just leave that runner to run and see if that one can do the heavy lifting for you. If you've entered here and you're unsure about it, then you could mitigate some risk. If you entered here and prices, like there's so many variables, I can't quite answer that, sorry. I think most of the times, if you're in a trade and you're confident with it, you should let it play out. You can always reduce risk, but rather than close completely, like if you're going to close completely, you should see something that you really don't like, and now it's like, I don't want to be part of it. Otherwise, if you took the trade just because it's going sideways for the last 15 minutes, shouldn't be the time shouldn't be affect you for that takes. Oh, you got to go, Ivan. All right, catch it, man. That was a quick one.
On 1 minute, we created a kind of HCS.
With the red candle?
Yeah. Because that red candle closed inside the wick, the previous candle wick.
Yeah.
So still that considered as an attempted FU candle.
Oh, okay. Let's go. Come on, break that level. These wicks on the last two candles on 5 minute are bullish to you. These rejection wicks. Cool. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like they're inside the body of the 5 minute candle. It's annoying that there's no bottom wick on these. Or there's no like lower wick. Like this is your lowest wick. And now everything's contained within this candle, and now we've kind of got the exact same thing happening, but with this candle. So it's a little confusing, but I would be leaning to buys as well. I've seen these, and then if we can see something breaking like we are now, I'd say that we've got wick fill, because the higher time frame trend is up, and we have pulled down, broke the Asian low, and we did have like an area, a predetermined point of interest here. Like this line was here before this candle moved down to it. Okay, so yours is fully open. What was your entry, James? What price? I know your pricing on the platform is going to be a little bit different to the pricing on here. Oh, it depends on where you are as well. If you're Australia, UK, or New Zealand. Oh, sorry, you wrote it just there. 16007. So you're up like 23 pips, more or less. Yeah, no, I'll hold it, mate. It's looking good now. It's got to fill this 5 minute wick. Still never gave me an entry, like one that I'd like to see. I still wanted to see I was really hanging out for an engulfing candle, but the 1 hour is now looking good. It's looking good for at least 1640, and then you can make a decision on what you're going to do with it when it approaches here. If you want to take some partials, because you're going to be positive 30 pips at that stage. That's not bad. That's pretty decent. Pretty decent if it's consistent. What's that, Ashay?
This candle you can still consider as a manipulation. So
because it closed inside the wick.
Yeah. So you can call that as an attempted FU still. Still, a price has to break this, then it will be much more easier for a price to push to the upside.
Yeah.
We still have liquidity here, and we are obviously going against that 3 hours FU candle. So this 3 hour has to close bullish one to say that we will further move into the upside. At least that's the anticipation. First anticipation is the hourly candle, and second, next hourly candle just pushing to the upside.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, James. I didn't see that you already said it. And then there's a slight delay on what you see on the stream. I think there's like, if you look at the clock down here and match it with your one, there might be like a 10-second delay. Or 5-second delay or something. Euro's dragging the index down. If Euro reverses, it will probably push the index up as well. The Dixie. Yeah, it's a kind of expected it to be a bit of a quieter session, isn't there? There's not really much volatility there. After such a heavy day yesterday, and that GDP numbers for UK, we had red folder news. Right here, GDP, 7 a.m. My time, UK time. I really did expect to have opened up German 40 and seen quite a bit of movement. So having basically such a small amount of movement gave me a feeling it's going to be a low volume day. Low volume open, rather. We could still see some good volatility. Oh, I see it, Dave. Yeah, when you sort out your computer issues, send that chart to the Discord.
Now, if the current price start breaking this FA candle high, then we will be again moving to the upside, because this is again created kind of HCS. So if price able to break this high or this high, then we will again moving to the upside.
Yeah.
This is kind of manipulation for people who trying to take a sell. They think that the price close strong bearish candle, now is the time we will start looking for sell.
And then if you get a setup here, then that's where you'd scale in, not enter in here and then scaling in here. Because that's, to me, entering, say you entered at 1607. I know you entered on the 5-minute chart, so that was around at this point. And then scaling in on like this candle or this candle. To me, that's too soon. You'd want to see a breaker structure to scale in. So have your first entry here where you got in, and then if this is a manipulation zone and we're clearing it and we're coming back down to retest it, then that's your scale in point. Barcode here, up, down, up. It'd be great if it breaks this bit. If it breaks here and then does that scale in area, will be where I'll look to get my first position and just consider it a late entry that price set up, but it didn't give me an entry. That's a difference. There's a big difference between setting up and giving you an entry that you're confident with. And those late entries, usually, like if you took profit and moved to break even, those late entries invariably will get tapped out. So if you take a late entry and then you are able to secure like 20-30 pips, I'd pretty much just close majority or close all and just say it was just consider it like a scalp in and out. Because some of these liquidity entries are the scalp entries, but you're actually looking at the bigger picture. So the scalp entries potentially into a day trade, whereas these late entries should just be considered a full scalp and it's just in and out. Adding at the lows of the wicks was a good risk reward. Okay. Sure. I mean, everyone's going to have. There's definitely don't consider anything that I'm saying as the only way to do something. If you think that the risk is there and it's worth it, then and you've back tested it, then always go what your results are.
Yeah, at least get 100 trades data or 100 points. So you will get idea that how many times this thing works and how many times it did not work.
Yeah. Oh, looking good now. I still don't see an entry for me. Even with hindsight now, I can't see where I could have got in. That's not an entry for me.
It was like yesterday's was also same thing was happening with gold. It was not a clear entry, but it created a lot of 1 minute HCS, not a clear HCS, strong HCS, weak HCS was formed yesterday.
All right. Well, the late entry is going to be on the cards now. Do you think I should have waited for the retest? No, I don't think so. It depends on, listen, it depends on how you were seeing this. If you were waiting on the hour and anticipating that this candle to form like this, then that is a correct move. If you're waiting for a rejection and then a retest, you would have missed this. There was no entry. So there was a way, depends on, like, you don't have to stick to one over the other every time. Like yesterday, I had a really clear level that I took an anticipation entry, and that one worked out really well. If I waited for a confirmation entry, I would have got I'm not even sure I would have got that entry if I didn't take it, because it wicked down. Maybe the way the 15-minute candle closed, you could have got an entry, but I don't even see that. Actually, I haven't looked at the 15-minute candle for a while. Yeah, no, I still don't even see anything. Yesterday, the 15-minute candle closing at this area. So you see how at least it took the low of the previous candle. Like, to me, that is something that I'd be more confident taking, where I don't have that today. So even if I had a clear zone, price didn't set up the way that I wanted to get an entry from here, and I missed it. Okay, but if you're anticipating the hour candle to be doing this move, then that is the right way to have entered into this trade, and you got it, because this is an area I didn't pick it up initially. I had my my levels I'm looking for a reaction from, but I didn't consider these two candles as something that was totally clear for me to expect this candle. So I couldn't anticipate this candle because I wasn't seeing it. But if you saw it, then that was the correct entry, just anticipating it. If you're waiting for a break and retest, sometimes price is going to set up, but it never gave you an entry. Like, potentially this could have been an entry. If I squint and convince myself that was an entry, it's not something I'm going to be able to do on a daily basis.
Now look at that 4 hour.
Yeah. Bloody hell. It's gonna be a good one again. We might see 16,100 now, if this can close strong.
Yeah, so now this liquidity will not be targeted for now. we just continue pushing to the upside. We will going to respect the low and continue pushing to the upside. Maybe we will get some kind of reaction from this zone again. Then at least tapping till there can be a good idea. If someone is, I think James, I think he, is that correct?
Yeah, James. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he can hold this position if this 4 hour is closing strong bullish one.
He closed. He closed. He took 35 pips. That's good, man. I'm really happy.
Okay. Maybe next time, if you see something like this, like yesterday, we were anticipating same thing like today on hourly. So same thing, if you see same kind of pattern, you can look for the at least small runner, like you can close 95% or 99% and let the 1% or 5% let it run for the next zone.
Yeah.
And to see.
It's a good skill to be able to why did you close it? Did you close because it's 35 pips is enough, or did it close it as it got to your level? And that's where if you're trying to work on holding for longer, then just close everything. Close most. Leave like the smallest little thing on, just to be able to see something hit an actual target that you've anticipated.
And that can boost your confidence also. Like next time, instead of closing like 95%, you will close 90% or 85%.
Yeah. Yeah. I finally got a little entry. A late entry. This
okay,
candle.
push them.
super late. that was what I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Down lower. If I zoom in on it. This is what I was looking for. Something to break the low of the previous ones and then retest. Like actually is always telling me to look for. Finally did it. So so high.
Nice push, nice. Only thing is now this entry you cannot hold it.
No, I can't. I've got to be in and out.
Yeah.
I'm considering just.
Price can again come back to the downside.
Yeah. I just took profit then. 10 pips. $10 pips, and I left a little runner just to see if it can, but nah, yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to be able to. I'll see if it can break through. I'll move stop to break even though. How about that?
Mm-hmm. I mean, if it create another manipulation here, then probably we will again start moving to the upside. Like just inducing people to look for sell here, like closing any kind of bearish candle, and next immediate candle just taken out that low and again start moving to the upside.
Yeah. Hopefully it just powers through, but that's and then my runner will hold. Yeah, that's looking good. Well, yesterday made 80. The day before made 100. Today I got 10. But it was a good 10, a quick 10, just from waiting for I've been pretty disciplined with waiting in this one. So the runner's now up 16. So that's good. Looks like bad timing. What happened, Nigel? Oh, Terry took that one as well. Target 16,100. Only one lot, so small risk. So I can practice holding. Cool. Oh, you took the Axios entry or my super late one?
Super late one.
Okay, yeah. See how that one was? It's much clearer to see when you know what you're looking for, when you're waiting for what you're looking for. I guess we could have done it on this one. I like to see it pretty quickly though afterwards. Yeah. Now I took. Yeah, maybe I've been a bit rigid with what I'm looking for. I just don't see that as easily.
If you look at, we left the doji candle here So if the FU candle was formed here, that means they are not interested to take out that doji candle low.
Let me just center it a bit for you.
Okay. Okay, so now if you look at here, this was a doji candle left. With this was doji candle was taken out, price came to the downside. If price create any kind of HCS or FU candle, then that means they are not interested to take out this doji candle low. So this liquidity can be left behind for the future target. Once we're getting enough liquidity from upper side, then maybe that will be the target for the next time. And this is not a clear HCS because this candle did not close like a strong bullish one, but this candle you can still consider as a attempted FU because it took out the previous candle low and closed inside that week attempted FU, you can say, but created HCS, and price again came back for retest that attempted FU again here.
Oh, James, that got you your target for the month. Great, fantastic, man. That's really, really good. Vassal holding part of position of US 100. Oh, nice. Yeah, that'd have been flying. 10 pips, yeah. 10 pips is all it's needed, isn't it? Good work, team. Not gonna lie, it wasn't an easy one. So we've had okay volume in the end, 70 pips. It's not large by any means, but it's at least a decent session. Kind of just, there was no real quick moves there, was there? It just, apart from this bit, this was the best part, and it kind of just meandered for a long time. Now that we're inside this zone, hopefully it doesn't pull all the way back, but I don't have much confidence for my runner. That's why I closed majority, vast majority. But we'll see, if we can close above it, then we've got another potential 36 pips it can go. From here to here, 40 pips. I just joined. Yeah, I don't think you missed much, Nigel. Apart from practice and discipline, not entering, not being able to see something here. Oh, someone's taking trades. Another entry coming at the test of the previous highs, around 16,040. Yeah, if it comes back down, that was the area, this area. Now, what actually I was saying on the 3-minute chart was a manipulation zone. So if price comes down to this area again and gives you a setup, you'd have to wait for a confirmation like engulfing candle, liquidity candle, FE candle. Then that would be a potential retest entry again. Breaking this low won't be good for that runner of mine. What do you mean by manipulation zone? So when you've got, if you have, well actually, rewind on the stream, where actually I was talking about, he explained it pretty well. So you're about to rewind on the stream.
Yeah, I can explain it again if you want.
Okay. Which chart?
Just open. Yeah, any chart, one chart. Just a higher time frame one. So,
what about gold? Just oh no, we'll keep it on this if that's alright. I'll do 1 hour chart. because there's an area you can be able to see it.
Let me see. Let me check it on the gold. Gold will be easier.
What about this one?
No, this is not a manipulation zone. This is a HCS zone. So this was HCS was formed. Price just came back. That's why the entry was. I was looking for this in area for the entry because this is a HCS zone.
Isn't that the same thing? HCS is the manipulation.
No, not the manipulation. The manipulation zones are where you can say that the price already broke the HCS zone. So this was a HCS zone. Say price push to the downside, break this HCS zone. That means they are interested to push the price even lower to the downside.
Ah,
so
I got
coming
my
back into
strings.
this,
I got my wires crossed with that. I thought I was considering it the same thing. Just
No,
that's one way or another. All right, you want gold?
yeah, gold.
Let me just put this on the side. Okay, there you go. It's 4-hour chart.
Yeah, 4 hour or 1 hour will be sufficient.
1 hour.
Okay, so let me find it's so for example, let's say this was a FU candle here. So why price decided to break that FU candle? Because FU candle has the least liquidity because banks manipulated that price in that area, so they usually don't want to break that FU candle again. Either they just coming back into that FU candle and again start moving to the downside. But if they break that FU candle, that means they have more liquidity to the upside. They wanted to push the price even higher to the upside. So after breaking that FU candle, you can just mark that as a zone. That zone. If we create any, let's say we created HCS for example. So for then after next candle, you have to wait for price to come back into that area and wait for the any kind of lower time frame manipulation to see price again pushing to the upside. Like yesterday's entry was based upon that we broke that this FU candle, because my idea was either price respecting this FU candle and then again start moving to the downside to come back into this area for the any kind of further buys. But obviously it depends upon the if the price what we think. It not depend upon what we think. We have to adapt based upon the price action. So if the price already broke that thing, that means I can change my bias to bullish one, where after that price coming back into that zone, retest it to that zone, and then again looking for the entry. So here yesterday we got the manipulation in the 1 minute, 3 minute, I think both the time frame, because the anticipation was this hourly candle going to create a top wick in this zone and again pushing to the upside. You can change your bias based upon the price action. You can put because we as an intraday trader, we can change our bias anytime, but that you should have some reason for that to change your bias. Like you should put 2 bias every day, buys as well as sells. But for that to be happen, you have some criteria. Like for yesterday, my criteria was price has to respect this to consider sell opportunity. If price is breaking above, then I can change my bias to bullish. Or if price is tapping into some major area on the upside area, like this was a 1950 area, was a 4-hour area for me. I was looking for sell, but I didn't get any kind of good confirmation for sell on that 1950 area. There was an opportunity, but the stop loss was really big, like a 23 pip stop loss. I don't want to enter with this 23 stop loss. And already the major move was bullish afterwards. That's why I was looking for sell, only looking for buys in this area yesterday. And session also important. I think this was a Asian session high also. It matches with that thing also.
It was.
Yeah, I didn't saw the session because recently I'm not using session, only looking for liquidity. Where is the liquidity is sitting? Yeah, this matches with this here.
Yeah.
And manipulation, for example, price created this HCS zone, for example. Now price break that manipulation zone. So next time you just have to wait for price to coming back into that manipulation zone to again further push price to the downside. But all over, everything is depend upon the liquidity. Where is the liquidity is sitting? Liquidity is all about any kind of manipulation zone or any kind of anything else. Liquidity is major. You can see liquidity is the king. If price found that it grab the enough liquidity here, then they are not going to interested to push the price into this zone or even lower. So liquidity is always important. If you can mark the zones or everything, but if you don't understand how the price target the liquidity and how to decide that based upon the 4 hour or 8 hour or 3 hours any kind of candle formation, and see the where they are directing, are we bullish or bearish based upon the 4 hour. If you see the 4 hour FU candle form, then you don't want to go against that 4 hour FU candle. You can just go with that trend that the 4 hour already telling me that price wanted to push to the upside. Then just wait for any kind of pullback, retesting to that 4 hour FU or week of that 4 hour FU, and take entry there instead of going against that 4 hour. A lot of people think that the 4 hour push to the upside created a FU candle, and they try to go against that 4 hour, trying to take entry here. But they have to understand the quick move going to happen once the price is coming back, retesting, and price just simply push away from that area as quick as possible, because they does not want it to stay in that area for any much longer once they get their enough liquidity. That's why whenever we get any kind of entry on FU candle or attempted FU candle, the price quickly move away from that area, and we did sometimes we don't even get any kind of pullback after that. Can you go to the lower time frame, like a 5 minute or so? Whenever we get like this big move, it just grab the liquidity from one side, and they just wanted to target the other side of liquidity, and people try to take the entry in this, trying to take a buy to target the high here instead of just go with the trend. If you see the trend is bearish, just wait for the price to tap into that particular area, and once the price tap into that particular area, price just going to move away from that area as soon as possible. You just move in just 5 minutes or even 10 minutes, it move like a 50 pips also. Instead of trying to taking let's say price now grab the liquidity from the bottom side. Once they grab the enough liquidity, you will see this kind of move. Instead of taking entry on this kind of candles, you can find this kind of candle if you understand the overall liquidity concept. Like let's say here FU candle form, that means they wanted to target push the price to the upside. So where is the next liquidity? This is the next liquidity area. So you will see, but this is going to work only in the high volume session. So you have to find which session is the suitable for your pair. I only trade pair NY session in the gold. So gold is, if you look at overall all the session, and you will find that the gold only move you get a bigger move, like a more than 100 or 200 pips in the NY session. Just trade NY session there. You don't have to look at London session for gold or Asian session, because we as a trader, why we are trading, because we need that freedom. We just have to come onto the chart like 2 hours or 3 hours, taking trade on that particular session, and just rest of our time is for our family or whatever you want to do after that. You don't have to sit on the chart whole day. Even on the London session, we only looking at the 2 hours or barely looking at the max 2.5 hours, because we only looking at the one particular pair. Like here we only looking at the German 40. People who are trading any pair, just stay with that pair and stick with the one session, one pair, one session. If you are trading London session, stick with the pair which you like, with the pair which move more than 100 pips or at least more than 70-80 pips.
Yeah,
because we need that
the
volatility. Yeah, like a gold usually move nicely in the NY session. And people once at least for in a month, like there will be time where you will see London will be moving for 100 pips, but just find out the all previous 6 months and you will find that the most of the time the high volume comes in NY session or gold, and people want to switch to the London session once they find out that, oh, London is moving 100 pips yesterday or London moved 200 pips yesterday. Just stick to the one session. You
recency
will find
bias.
yeah, and you can find the patterns also. Like for NY session, usually the pre-NY session was just grabbing liquidity, and after the NYSE open or NY open, you will see that the price just going to move in one particular direction. Even for the I think German 40 also, and London open is usually like a grabbing liquidity from one side. Like today, it just grab the liquidity from one side and then moving opposite to the, because people who took a buy here, their stop loss, they put their stop loss here or below here, and it just grab the liquidity, and afterward it's moving away from the next liquidity area. Like people who took a sell, their stop losses must be above here or maybe here somewhere. The stop losses are the liquidity for banks.
For sure. What do you mean, Savenia? What do you? Is asking what is this? Asking what pair it is. We're just explaining liquidity. Left is German 40, right is gold, but only trading German in London Open. My runner got stopped. Yeah, supply demand zones, like support resistance, supply demand zones, depending on how you draw it, they'll more or less overlap a lot of the time as well. It's where price pauses and creates. Oh, how to make money. Okay, maybe it's a bot or something.
Let me send one picture for the manipulation zone to understand.
Catch you, Glenn. Yeah, well, the two areas. This was these two reaction lines, well, points of interest, and then this one. This is the main one. It held like a charm. But breaking above it, we've got more upside. So what I'm going to do actually is for later, I'm going to send an alert above here for when we're closing above 16.065, and I would anticipate that if we can close above here, then we can make 16,100. Better watching Paint Dry. Okay, go watch it. Live stream it for me so I can watch too. That'd be good. Yeah, you're reading as well. Actually, at least someone's talking to me. Even if they're like giving me grief. Oh well. Cool. Manipulation zones over here.
Okay, so if you see, this was a previous HCS was here. Price even retested at HCS and again pushed to the upside. But once price broke that HCS, I think it broke it here, low here. Then price came back for the retest of that zone. and price again push to the next liquidity area. Once they grab the liquidity, price push to the upside. Then afterward again, price reacted to that manipulation zone, push to the upside. But we already created a HCS from upside. That's why we just came back for the retest of that HCS and then again start moving to the downside. Even here, this was a HCS. Then once we broke that HCS, then it was a retest for that HCS here. And even afterward, price pushed to the upside, it came back for the retest. So this become our manipulation zone afterward for whole area.
Yeah, I think the important thing to consider as well, on the 4-hour chart, you got how much volume you have in a particular session as well. So like even these little moves, like where this is a manipulation zone, close below it, little retest down, like this area is still 100 pips. So how much you're going to get in a particular session, like 100 pips, because it looks to me, it looks like it's rangy, but in the range we've got clear little spaces. So if you can see like space on the chart, it might not look like much on the higher time frame, but then on the lower time frame, you'll have that clarity with structure. Like this would look like trending structure going down.
Yeah.
This bit here, and then if you're looking in the session, like how much we're trying to target in a particular session, generally it's going to be around 100 pips. You know, and if we get 50, we're happy. If we get more than that, fantastic. But this is a 100 pip range, so that is a tradable range. Even if the higher time frame, it can look messy.
And for James, if you look at carefully how HCS setup was, once HCS setup was formed, how price move. Like here HCS setup form, price push all the way to the upside. HCS setup form here, then how price all the way push to the downside. So if you're able to hold the trade, but you have to understand, once you get the entry here, next target you can target all the way to the next liquidity area, because price always move from one liquidity area to another liquidity area.
Yeah, sorry, let me bring that back up.
Yeah, no. Like here, HCS setup form, multiple HCS setup was formed, price came back, but the true stop loss was here. So once you are getting entry here somewhere, the anticipation is price push all the way to the downside, maybe retesting to this FU candle. We already retested, created FU candle. So at least you are targeting till here. Then if you are getting entry from somewhere in this area, you always finding price, because price always move from one liquidity area to another liquidity. Like here, we generated liquidity here in the form of doji, but after that we created HCS here. So that means banks are not interested to take out this liquidity. They are already satisfied with this liquidity. So until and unless price is breaking above this, you don't have to change your bias. You can stick to your bias, like a bearish bias. Once its price is breaking above, this become your manipulation zone. Then you can wait for the pullback, retest into that manipulation zone for buy, and targeting at least this liquidity or this liquidity.
Okay. It means can you hear me properly?
Yeah.
Okay. If the HCS is broke, then we can call it as a manipulation zone.
After HCS zone was broken, or even a FU candle is broken, that means they wanted to push the price even higher to the upside. Let's say, for example, this one was broken, this this HCS was broken. So after price pushing into the downside, we still have this bigger order block also, but they wanted to push to the downside because there is a liquidity at the downside also, and we created another FE candle here afterward. And once we got, then we will start moving to the upside. So HCS zone has the you can say price does not want to break the HCS zone. But if price is breaking the HCS zone, then there is a more liquidity above that HCS zone. Then you can use that HCS zone for the re-entry, for the manipulation entry, you can say. Like let's say this was a HCS zone, price broke above, that means there is a more liquidity upside. So waiting for that pullback, retesting to that HCS zone, you can use that for the entry.
And
Actually,
how
on the
to find
current,
out that
on the
if
current,
you for manipulation,
What was
we
that, Jim?
can mark as a manipulation.
Yeah, a manipulation zone, or even single FE can be used for the manipulation zone. Like this single FE candle, you can consider once price breaking above. That means there is a more liquidity upside again, because FU candle HCS has the least liquidity above that, because banks, they usually don't want to break that area.
Let's have a
But
look
if
at let's bring up German 40, because remember that little zone that was the HCS from upside? Remember this,
Look
how I
at
drew it?
Yeah.
These ones?
Mhm.
And then it perfectly retested it.
Yeah, and afterward, again, we are start moving to the upside.
Yeah.
So my question was going to be exactly about that on that zone. I didn't see an entry. I was looking for some price action on the 1 minute, but would you just consider the 1 minute candle that rejected it good enough as an entry?
That's a 3 minute. The 1 minute, what do you see here? Would you just take a retest? Retest like this is a trended down to retest it, breaking the high potentially?
Depend. So this is not a clear entry, but you can try taking entry, but risking really less, because price may again come back to the downside also.
That was my question. I didn't see a clear entry.
Clear entry could have been like after this attempted FU was formed and price broke that attempted FU to again start moving to the upside.
Or this candle closing a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And the 3 minute zone was from here to here. This is way of zone. You also has to consider the wick also, not just the bodies, just a wick. So this is a 3 minute zone from this wick to the here till.
Yeah. But if you go to the 3 minute chart, where you've got that first engulfing, which is where you've drawn this zone, I actually don't have an engulfing, and I'm on TradingView and I'm Pepperstone as well, but it doesn't actually show as an engulfing candle.
Which one? This candle?
Yeah.
I'm looking at these. Just these two wicks.
Yeah, this was a HCS, previous HCS, correct?
Yeah.
This one was a HCS. So if the price,
right, okay, gotcha.
If the price broke that thing, that means they wanted to push even higher to the upside.
Right, yeah. No, I see it now. It's not the previous, where you've drawn it previously, even though my chart looks slightly different to yours. Yeah, I see that, yeah, okay. Got it.
Yeah, just stick to the one provider, like a Pepperstone or any...
yeah, you're saying you're on the same, aren't you? And it still looks different.
Yeah, your chart always looks exactly the same as mine on Pepperstone, but for some reason, that engulfing one a bit further back just doesn't have the engulf. Yeah, that wick there, I just don't have that wick.
Oh, okay.
But I've never seen it be different to yours, so it's just you know.
Yeah, okay.
That's interesting though. It's the way you outlined that and explained that manipulation, or the way that it's broken HCS and then it comes back to retest it is really that's well explained and useful. Thanks.
Good one, actually.
Oh, thank you. I was on phone on call. So.
Yeah. So see how that's a good way of looking at break and retest.
Yeah, it's just instead of looking at support resistance, you are looking at in the form of HCS. So if the price broke the HCS, price can come back, retest that HCS zone to again look for the buy opportunity if you miss the first buy. And now look at the 15 minute manipulation already happened.
So I've always looked at those sort of setups where it breaks it as actually a change in direction, as in a change in bias, but I've never considered it an area where it would come back and retest.
How come?
So that's just Yeah, that's really interesting.
And
Thank you for
usually
that.
the breakout traders are usually look for entry like this, price closing above price. They usually look for the entry taking the once the candle break the previous candle high. But instead of looking for the entry like that, you can wait for price to come back lower side and do the manipulation. Like this is a manipulation candle now. This is a FU candle form here. So that means you can enter for the even lower here. And if this candle is closing in your direction, this become now a true breakout. You can say the manipulation already happened here after breaking the previous candle low. Then we will again start continue pushing to the upside. But this will be in the high volume session, not in the low volume session. If you are looking at this thing in the Asian session, don't try this thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Less chance of it working out.
Yeah. Even here, if you look at this was the previous HCS was here. Price broke that HCS. And after that, it became the manipulation zone for us. The price came back for the retest on that zone. Price pushed to the upside again. And then afterward, it came back to retest that HCS zone for the manipulation, obviously. Because higher time frame always going to give you direction. Lower time frame will be our entry, but anticipation is the after taking entry here, the anticipation should be like a based upon higher time frame, like a higher time going to close in my direction. So that way you can hold that position for longer period then.
It's looking good now. Looking really good. See if I can just finally clear this little area. Got a 15-minute doji over here.
Yeah, hourly also looking good now. We can go all the way to the 84 now.
Yeah. Is that the
This one?
retest?
Yeah, zone. Yeah, hourly retest has already happened.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. It's actually been apart from it not actually giving a good setup, a good entry, it's been a nice little trade. Nice move.
Yeah, even 5 minute, look at this 5 minute.
Yeah.
If you can.
I know. I saw it afterwards.
So if you've got HCS and it gets broken in the middle of the Asia session, say it's for German 40, yeah, it gets broken in the middle of the Asia session, but not because of any news, would you consider that less of a change in direction?
But not just if you are only looking at the 5 minute, you have to also look at the whole time frame, like a 5 minute, 15 minute, hourly, 2 hours, 4 hours, because higher time frame going to decide where we are going. Lower time frame, maybe sometimes you will see, because if you are taking entry middle of the range, like let's say in this middle of the range, then you will see a lot of 5 minute HCS was formed, it broken. The important thing is the point of interest here, where you are looking at, like based upon higher time frame, like this is a based upon higher time frame zone. That's why we are looking for the entry in this area in the lower time frame. So taking entry even in Asian session, if you are looking at the HCS, but you have to look at how the previous session was telling us, because every session going to tell you some kind of story where we are going.
Okay.
Instead of just relying on the just Asian session price action, you have to also look at how the NY session was performing previous NY session, because NY session can give us idea that where we are going, and Asian session just driving the price in that direction afterward. Or if the NY session already moved too much to the previous NY session, then Asian session will not going to push to the upside again. They are interested to either push the price to the downside, and London session maybe just continuation to the upside afterward. Or Asian session just going to create just a range or the liquidity, like generating liquidity here, And for London people, it's just grabbing that liquidity, because people who took a buy in this middle of the day, they put their stop loss generally at the low, and the London session just take out that liquidity and then again start moving to the higher time frame direction.
Yeah, classic sell to buy move. Been seeing it, or buy to sells. You know, we see this. How often do we see this? So often.
You can try one thing, just look at the higher time frame and look at the Asian session range, and how many times price break that Asian session low and move away from that area. That's a liquidity grab most of the time.
Yeah.
Or if price taken out the Asian high first, and usually then it just move away from that area to next liquidity area, so that will be Asian low. Because people who took a buy or sell, if they took a buy, their stop loss is below here. If they took a sell, their stop loss is above this area. So it took out both the stop loss. It took out the first buyer stop loss, and now it took out the seller stop loss.
Yeah, and for German 40, a lot of the time, I would say, if you're planning your trade, planning your ideas, is to then don't try find too much information inside of here. Almost just do that. Because you can get fooled into seeing something that was formed in a lower time frame, and by chance, the way candles form, you'll see something that will resemble something that you'd look for in a high volume session. And if you're not aware of the time scale down the bottom, if you're not aware of the time that candle was formed, you just looking at the chart and it's like this. You don't actually have a clear indication of when candles are formed. You're just looking for exact candles. Then you might pick up a candle that looks great, but it's in a time that it's unreliable. Because you can see here, like if we looked at this and price, if we take out the Asian session, because you would have there was trendline liquidity on the Asian session. Now, does it make sense to be traded anywhere inside of here if this is your previous high volume session? So why did price come down exactly to this level before it made that move up? But if we actually were looking at this, see how we've got that little trend line? It's very easy to be fooled into thinking that these are supports, and these are not supports. This is just liquidity we picked up. But which one do you, if you're looking at structure, which one do you look at? Which one do you consider the real structure? So I think it's good. It's good information to have to use the Asian session. Gold is good for Asian session because gold in Asian session can have a lot more information available just because of the way that every session buys and sells gold, and especially you've got some Asian sessions currencies like Australia that produces a lot of it. So you can use Asian session to better advantage with some of these other pairs like gold and obviously other ones. But with German 40, what relevance does Asian session hold? A lot less, far less. So a lot of the time you can use it to your advantage to look where manipulation zones could be, but I'd say the better thing to do is just ignore it. Almost just straight ignore it and look at your zones in higher time frames. That's the better way.
Right. Cheers.
You're welcome.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, good session, guys. Good session. Let's see if we can actually push up into 16,100 as the new target. Took out the doji. No wick on this one. Might pull back another one, but it kind of resembles what it did yesterday. How it pushed up, little pullback around the same time, around this 9:20 time, started doing the pullback. Same thing. Oh no, a little bit later, but pushed up. And then we normally do get the pullback towards the end of the hour. Sometimes a little bit before, sometimes a little bit after. Push down, and then it's actually a straightforward move.
If you see this kind of pattern, always you will see this thing like a doji candle form, people, and then price came back to the downside, do the manipulation to target that doji again. Because people think this doji candle form, oh, this is a reversal pattern, now I can sell, I can put my stop loss above that doji high, and they take a sell, price just a little bit of pullback, and again it start moving to the upside. Because for banks, this is a liquidity, because people who took a sell, their stop losses must be above here. No.
Beautiful. All right, guys. Well, thank you for the morning. I'm gonna get cracking. I've got a lot of things I've got to get done today. So, take care. We've got PPI later on. So there's going to be some news. Let's see what that does to the US dollar. If it's going to force a correction. At the moment, US dollar's very weak. So let's see if it changes its tunes around. All right. So
yeah, great session.
Yeah, good study session. So thanks very much, Akshay, for explaining manipulation zones in your time, as always.
Alright, then see you guys. See you NY. NY is the one I'm looking for.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, if you're what do we end up getting? End up getting 90, and we end up getting that 85 pip, 87 pip London Open volume. So the volume was actually quite decent. It was slow going though, wasn't it? But there was still decent volume, just slow. No real aggressive moves at all. Not like yesterday. So I'm expecting NY session to be a good one. Cool. All right. Well, take care. I'll see you guys later on.
Cheers, Hayden. Thanks.
Yeah, take care everyone.